Hi, welcome. My name's Danelle. This week I'd like to share with you the paintings I've been doing out on the trails every day on my walks with my dogs here in Southeast Alaska. I have been really enjoying doing these landscapes and trees, and they are all watercolors, a couple of gouache paintings. Another thing I've been doing is when I come home and I didn't have time to finish my watercolor paintings, or I don't really like the way that they turned out, I use my acrylic gouache to paint over the top of the watercolor paintings. And I also have a clip to share with you today of me painting the gouache over the watercolor painting, just to show you how I approach it and why I fixed it. So I hope that'll be useful for you. If this sounds like the kind of things that you'd like to see more of, I do art vlogs out on the trails every week. I do these art tours every week. Consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. We're growing a really friendly and warm community here of artists, both very experienced and new. I have been an artist for about 40 years, and previous to making this channel, it started back about, I don't know, about 5 months ago. I mostly just painted oil paintings for about 40 years, big oil paintings, and mostly animals. You can see a shark back here that I painted about 2 years ago, and this is from an exhibit that I did based on stories from the Alaska Native Tlingit people. This is a painting of raven discovering humans inside of a clamshell, so you can see their hands reaching out to the raven. So let's get going with the tour. Hope you enjoy it. Hope maybe you learn a couple of things along with me, and off we go. Here is the first painting I have to share with you, and this is acrylic gouache. And this day was very misty, and there was this sun was just hanging behind this veil of mist here. I don't think I ever quite achieved getting that soft, misty sort of look. It's not something I've been able to do really well with acrylic gouache yet, but I did kind of enjoy doing the layering. I think I got my drawing. I have painted this a few times, and I think I got the drawing on this one a little better than usual, but this is a fairly plain painting. And this is a day I just did a portrait of a tree. This is a little bull pine. In some places they're called shore pines, and I really like the way these very distinct little sculptural clumps of greenery happen here. Now, this is one of the ones that I started in watercolor, but something that happens a lot when I'm doing watercolor, because for so long I have been an opaque medium painter, like oil paint. I've taught classes in acrylic. Is when I'm doing watercolor, I lose the lights, especially when they're in these little shapes with green in the background, and then these green shapes on top of a green background. So I kind of lost that. So when I got home, I did paint some gouache over the top of that. I think I brightened up this trunk a little bit. So I'm fairly happy with this one. It looks fairly close to the original tree, but I did enjoy coming home and fixing some of the problems. And here is a scene that I have also painted a couple times. I go to this beach fairly often. It's close to my house, and I was very charmed that this sailboat stopped in there. This was a very, very rainy day, and I was sitting under a very dark shelter, and as usual, I didn't have my reading glasses on when I was painting this, so I think because it was so dark, I ended up painting it even lighter than I knew when I got home. I was really surprised by how light it was. Again, this is an acrylic gouache. This is only acrylic gouache. I didn't start with watercolor, but when I got home, the sailboat needed to be sharpened up, and there were a few highlights, but I didn't do a whole lot to this after I got home. But without my glasses, I needed to sharpen that up. I always take a photo of the scene before I come home to help with that. Here is another tree portrait. This is kind of a sweet portrait of these two trees that grew together, lived a long life together, and then are now both dead, have no foliage, but they're beautifully sculptural and have this very silvery trunks. They have no bark on them anymore. I was pretty happy that I was able to capture this misty effect of the forest in the background. There are bigger mountains back here, but this mist had come all the way down, and I'm pretty happy with that one. Here is one that needed a lot of help when I got home. This is in a fairly dark and thick part of our rainforest. It's a really pretty trail. I've done a vlog at this trail. I'll put a card up above, this side or that side of that vlog. But I sat in a little bit different place than usual. This is one I worked on quite a bit after I got home. So it was so dark by the time I got home. I don't know why, but I had really painted this very, very dark. Put in a little. I looked at my original photo, and let's see if I have that original photo. I can show it to you. My drawing wasn't quite right, so I needed to fix the beach, and I needed to brighten up these trees, and so I did quite a bit of work with this with the acrylic gouache after I got home. Another thing I've been having fun with is, especially for gravel, this is a gravelly beach, is using my brush to splatter some nice little texture on some of these areas. I think it worked pretty well on this particular piece, so that one is... That one was pretty fun to work on. And here is one that I did on a trail vlog. I'll put a card up above for this video. This is out in a remote wilderness area, out on a muskeg, which is what we call our bogs. And I had already painted the scene there a couple times. I didn't really feel inspired to do it again. And then I looked down, and there were my two border collies, Audrey and Edna, just lying right there, and they wait for the ball to be thrown, and they just freeze in this position. So I thought, well, I'll just take advantage of that and paint them. So that's what I did, and I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. And I did have to do some touching up on their faces. Again, I can't see detail very well when I don't have my glasses on, so I did touch up Audrey's face a little bit. I didn't have to do much, though. This is one of those paintings I was pretty happy with how it came out right out of the gate. So pretty happy with that, and I'd be delighted if you would watch that and give me feedback on that video. Here is another one that I just did a vlog on, and this is at a beautiful, beautiful trail that's about 15 minutes from our house, and it has this stone bench here. I started this one in watercolor, and as you're getting the idea now, I kind of lost control of it a bit. You'll see if you watch that video, but the gouache always seems to save me. I'm able to get the lights back in there, some detail back in there, and with my reading glasses on, it has all made easier. So that is this one. I'm pretty happy with it now. This is called Lunch Creek, and this is a little stone bench that allows for just sitting and enjoying the peace and silence. Don't see many people on that trail, and it's very beautiful. And here is one I did this morning, and it turned out lighter than I even expected. This one is all watercolor. I often, with my watercolors, will start sketching with waterproof ink pen, but this one I started with pencil. I wanted it to have a little bit lighter feel. It was sunny and very light outside, so I didn't want a lot of dark pen. You can see some of my pencil marks still, but this is a very simple one. I was a little sad that I lost some of the white of the clouds in here, but overall I'm fairly happy with this one, a pretty simple one. I caught some of the sun was coming from that direction, got some warm light on that hill. And here is the one where I will show you the video I made of fixing this one with acrylic gouache. And this is a really cute little trail here close by. It's called the Bigfoot Trail because there is a company that does Bigfoot informational tours on this little trail. It's very cute. They have actually a life-size, I guess you can say, life-size model of a Bigfoot that is down in this little creek valley that can kind of surprise people, and it's just very cute and charming. So I just sat on the trail and painted this, and I'll play the clip for you now. I'd love to hear your feedback on the painting, the finishing of the painting of this, and if you also use two mediums, maybe start with one and add a second one. Do any of you use acrylic gouache at all? I know I haven't found too many videos on YouTube about painting with acrylic gouache. I just happened upon one video, got inspired and bought some. So this is very new medium to me, but I've really been having fun using it to improve my watercolors, because watercolor is still a learning process for me. So anyway, sit back, enjoy the video of me painting this painting and getting it to its finishing spot. Thanks for joining me on this art tour. I hope you leave a comment down below of things you thought I could do better, maybe some suggestions for my daily paintings. I'd love to hear your experiences. Do you paint en plein air? Do you draw, sketch? And I'd love to hear that. So comment below if you have some ideas or just some feedback. Thanks so much for watching. Stay creative and have fun.